Alabama kicking off to South Carolina in one of the premier matches, and a great high kick there. Knocked back by Carolina, but Alabama take advantage of the loose ball. Immediately throwing it wide. Good, accurate long passing there, but the last pass going backwards. Carolina keeping a good line. Strong running, but going sideways. Carolina defenders shepherding the Alabama player. Good tackle by McKeon from behind on Deberschmidt, one of the top players for Alabama. Very, very hard man to pull down. Going to be a fast game, Jeff. Penalty against Carolina for not coming away from the ruck. Good tackle there by Thomas Core. Alabama, though, not giving up possession. Deberschmidt with the ball. Carolina, though, having to commit tacklers. I think they're penalised again for not getting away, not releasing quickly enough from the ruck. Alabama being brought back, making sure that they tap from the mark, not in front of it. Dave Hockenberg taking the tap. Throwing it out wide now. Some good tackling. Carolina contesting possession, but unfortunately knocked it on there. So it'll be Alabama ball from the scrum to restart play. 2 minutes into the game. Very, very quick pace at the moment, Jeff.
Yes, Alabama got some good strong runners. Obviously somewhat of a size advantage, but South Carolina's shown some really good defense. It's very hard to keep a team of strong runners like Alabama out of the end zone that close to the try line, but South Carolina's done well. A couple of penalties, however, from not rolling away, trying to kill the ball, and we'll see where this one goes. Scrum to Alabama.
And Deberschmidt, the number 12 for Alabama, the second pass out. He's scored 3 tries in the first match, but they turned the ball over on the Carolina line. Good offload there. Good pass by Kean, but great tackling, great defense by Alabama. The ball is knocked on by Carolina. Very pressing defense by Alabama there, keeping South Carolina on their own line. Might be a test of fitness here as much as anything, Jeff.
Yes, it's been all Alabama in the first half, and obviously we'll have to see how the conditions play with the players. I know there's a lot of good replacements for both teams on the sideline, so this should be a real game of attrition, I believe.
Quick ball to Alabama. The ball behind Deberschmidt. All of their men to the right. They've got 3 on 2, but low tackle, ineffective. Quick ball out for Alabama. Some great sidestepping there, but good low tackling, good offload. Alabama attacking the South Carolina line. There's some big, strong men on the Alabama side, on the Alabama team. Great driving tackle by Carolina, pushing Alabama back, but they continue to go on offense. Drawing in 2 Carolina tacklers at a time here. There's got to be an overlap out wide for Alabama if they throw it out, and immediately that happens. Taylor Carpenter scores for Alabama to take the score to Alabama 5, South Carolina 0. 4.5 minutes into the game.
I think though one of the features of that passage of play was I don't think South Carolina have had the ball, Ken, in the first first 4.5 minutes of this game, but obviously showed a very strong defensive effort there on the try line. But I think obviously the size and the strong running of Alabama finally culminated in that try in the corner. But this game has all the hallmarks of being a real titanic struggle, and I just want to see South Carolina with the ball and see what they can do with it, because they've had none of it yet.
Both teams testing their fitness at the moment, but the Alabama looked bigger and stronger in that first 4 minutes there.
Yeah, I think there'll be replacements coming on fairly shortly for both sides. Both sides look already. Obviously South Carolina from the defensive side.
Another high kick from Alabama, but it does not go 10 meters. The referee not taking it back though. Carolina took possession. McKeon takes it up, passing the ball out wide.
That's Brett Du Bois, I believe, on the wing.
But it's caught. Carolina now bring it back across the field. McKeon does a little kick over the top.
It's a nice kick. Ken, if he picks it up, he might. Fortunately, the ball doesn't bounce quite rightly for him.
Carolina retrieve possession. Comes off Cochran's ankles. I believe it's still their ball. No, the referee is going to rule a knock on by Carolina. Alabama ball. The boys are glad to have a little bit of a break here, but Alabama looking to attack their own half. Quick ball. Ian on him, but Alabama throwing it wide. Depperschmidt, strong runner. Carolina up to the task defensively. A loose pass there. Little kick through by
beautiful kick through by.
Didn't quite make it to the line. Cochran now running it up for South Carolina. They've got possession, but somebody needs to go with him. He does get it over the line.
That was Luke Bollenbeck for South Carolina scored that try. Strong effort. South Carolina with their hands on the ball, and you can see what they're capable of.
Ties the game at 5. About halfway through the second half here, and Kean attempting the conversion and misses the conversion from a close attempt. That ends the first half with the game tied at 5-all, Alabama and South Carolina.
All right, kickoff from South Carolina to Alabama. Alabama moving the ball out about their 35-yard line.
Alabama immediately on the attack into South Carolina half. Turning the ball, getting a little scrappy, turning the ball over. It was a South Carolina knock on. It'll be Alabama ball in the middle of the field. I think, Jeff, the better conditioned side might win this one. I think Alabama has a slight advantage in strength and size, but South Carolina trying to match that up with speed.
Yeah, South Carolina's brought on a few replacements, particularly in the forwards. So this game's very closely poised. And
Alabama ball, but Kean quickly on and turning the ball over. Cochran to Bollenbeck.
All right, it's Thomas Core.
Nice tackle by Alabama, but Carolina get it away before.
Penalty to South Carolina, Ken, I think.
A Loose
And
pass
the referee
there.
does go back for the penalty. It was a collar tackle. You obviously can't grab a player by the collar and drag them down. That's outlawed in rugby.
Carolina take the quick tap. You're going to try and probe their offload. Great step there. The empty space between the two Alabama tacklers. I think a little confusion there as to who was.
From Thomas Core, South Carolina.
Carolina take a 10-5 lead with Kean attempting a conversion. Conversion successful. Jeff, one of the keys in 7's rugby is to create that empty space. Normally it happens out wide. It obviously you get it from the overlap or between. As you get wider, you get bigger distances between the defenders normally, and you start to see the offense trying to probe that empty space, whether it's out wide, whether it's between defenders or behind defenders, and Carolina able to get through the gap that time.
Yeah, I think there was a good.
Well taken by
I think that's right.
Hockenberg for Alabama. Maintaining possession, now throwing it wide. Good support there. Wide cutout pass. Carolina defense up to it, but I believe he's going to be pinged for a high tackle there. I think it's a penalty advantage. Depperschmidt running it up.
Yes, the referee's going back for the penalty for the high tackle.
No advantage to Alabama, so they'll take the penalty. Substitutions by Alabama. Ready to restart play. Everybody's set to go. Carolina holding their line. Alabama breaking the line, but the pass went loose. It's a knock on by Carolina. It'll be a scrum to Alabama. South Carolina with a 7-point advantage, but Alabama on the attack. Alabama on the attack, drawing in the Carolina defenders. The overlap out wide here for Alabama if they can move it quickly. They choose to bring it back inside. Good attacking play by Alabama, throwing it wide again. Carolina up to the task at the moment, but it's fast-paced rugby. Alabama throwing it wide to Depperschmidt. He'll draw a couple of players. He's actually through the gap. Scores under the post. To Ross Depperschmidt, one of their bigger, stronger, and a very smart runner, Jeff.
Yes, Ken, that was a good strong run. He beat off a couple of Carolina defenders and went in between the posts. So again, based on this conversion, this may be tied up. So we've got quite a struggle here today between probably the two strongest teams here.
And the conversion attempt by James Puente is successful. We appear to have a 12-12 game with very little time left. Alabama kicking off to Carolina. Carolina looked a little tentative there, but the ball is out. They've got numbers. Ball back. Sidesteps, but has the ball stolen by Depperschmidt, and Alabama right back on the attack. Ball goes loose though. He's going to be penalized for using his hands in a ruck. Carolina would be penalized. It's Alabama ball. Stay on the attack in the Carolina half. Carolina setting a straight line in defense. Alabama throwing it wide. Carolina defense up to it at the moment, but it's been turned over. Kean is going to reset Carolina's offense. Kick it forward with Thomas Coor chasing. Puente with the ball. They reset their offense. Alabama maintaining possession. Have a overlap out wide, but they choose to run it up. See how many Carolina defenders they can commit. Tossing it around, waiting for the overlap. Carolina players. Little walking here. The gaps are here. The overlap is here, but good solid driving tackle by Sean Barnes.
Carolina
turn
with
the
a
ball
turnover
over.
opportunity here if they move the ball wide.
Brandon Holmes, but the pass from Kean immediately goes to Depperschmidt, and Alabama right on the attack. There's going to be a race-away try here to Alabama by their Heath Ross. Scores under the post. Against the run of play there, but most of the guys on the field, Jeff, with their hands on their knees, tells you how fast-paced those last few minutes were.
It's been a very strong game, very physical game, and South Carolina obviously tiring there at the end, made really very little effort to try and chase down the man breaking loose for the Alabama try.
So with that try and conversion, Alabama win the game against South Carolina. 19 points to 12. Great contest. Might be an indication of how the day is going to go. Game number 15. We've got Alabama about to kick off to Tennessee, but in the meantime we're going to hand it over to Robert for a sideline interview with one of the Auburn players.
And with Parker from Auburn after they just recently defeated University of Florida. So, obviously a good win. You got one more game left. What can you take away from this game, the positives and moving forward and trying to win another game?
A few things we did well. We passed the ball well. We kept it out of trouble and didn't commit too many turnovers. We take that kind of momentum. We did have a tough loss to Tennessee right beforehand, but we take the momentum from the win, leave with some hardware. So that's our goal right now. We're in a good state of mind right now, so we're looking forward to the next game.
And a theme I've been continuing to ask players, now you're on your fifth game, fatigue starting to set into stuff. So, what do you do and what does the team do to try to keep yourself going? Because obviously your body's telling you you're dead, everything's telling you got to keep telling yourself we got to go. So, What do you really do to keep yourself going?
Biggest thing's resting right now. When you rest between games, that's one of the most important factors in all these tournaments. You got to keep your body fresh and re-energized. So that's going to be a thing we're going to be doing between games. When we come out, we warm up a little bit and we're ready to go. We've done so much training this past 3 months for these tournaments. So right now we're just trying to let it all pay off right now.
Thank you very much for this interview, and congratulations on winning. Good luck on the next game.
Thanks, sir.
We're underway in the Alabama-Tennessee game, and no score to date, but and Tennessee just turning it over with a drop pass. Goes off to Alabama. Some strong running there. But a good low tackle attempt, and stopped the run. Alabama resetting, throwing it across the back line. Some good passing, but they've dropped the ball again, and Tennessee right on the counter. And a good little jink there. He's number 11 for Tennessee has run right through the line and scored the first points of the game for Tennessee in an against play with poor pass, quickly retrieved by Tennessee, and away they go. Chris Leatherwood attempting to convert his own try, but missed on that. So the score at the moment, Jeff, Tennessee 5, Alabama 0, and this could be an upset in the brewing here if Alabama don't take care of Tennessee. Tennessee may be holding their best for last here. Tennessee kicking off and contesting the ball, but Alabama retain control of it. Bring it to the right. Depperschmidt setting up Puente, but Tennessee strong defense. They're all bunched up at the moment though, so there's gaps wide left, but Alabama tried to unload, but knocked backwards by Tennessee, and they take possession of the ball in their own half. Some strong running, takes two Alabama players to commit to that tackle. A good pass, a good solid passing. Missed 2 tackles so far. Trying to pull his shorts up as he goes, and now
yes, Ken, Alabama's turning the ball over way too much. It's 3 knock-ons they've already incurred so far in this half, so they really need to keep better control of that ball. Tennessee's playing very aggressively and really getting up in the faces of Alabama, moving the ball well, so it's potentially quite a bit of an upset maybe brewing.
good handling by Tennessee. Whoop, high pass, but retained control. Good hard run to the gap. Tennessee now got 4 players out wide. Alabama have a sweeper ready, but the ball is knocked on by Tennessee. Alabama regrouping now. Immediately pass it out wide. Depperschmidt trying to set it up. Good strong running here. He's been running great all day. Alabama just going to be penalised for an obstruction. Tennessee now taking their time, being patient about setting it up. They kick it out, and I believe thinking it was I believe the half was over, but they've misjudged the clock. I'm not sure what that was about. So it'll be Alabama ball. I don't think I've ever seen that before, Jeff.
No, that was a surprise. Everybody seemed to turn around and look at the sideline and kicked it out as though they were expecting to go to lemons at half time.
They've turned the ball over to Alabama, so referee instructing Tennessee to get the number 9 back into the channel so that instead of standing behind the line out. Ball deflected by Tennessee, and they actually gained possession of it. A good hard run down the sideline by the Tennessee players, and they're set up wide. They're attacking the Alabama defense, and again, some of those hand tackles are just not being effective. Depperschmidt in hard with a strong tackle. 2-on-2. And again, Tennessee have gone over the Alabama try line to take a 10-0 lead in this game.
Yes, Alabama seem to be hanging off in defense, and when they do try to make a tackle, they're often just clutching the jersey, and Tennessee are running through the arm tackles, Ken.
Yeah, after this morning performances, I thought Alabama would be a little stronger, They don't seem to have the energy at the moment, though, but might have a wind advantage in the second half. So not writing them off, certainly, but conversion.
No, they definitely have the potential to come back very quickly. Alabama, we've seen them score a lot of tries today, and by no means is this over. So as we go to halftime, it's Tennessee 10, Alabama 0.
Yeah, 10-0 lead, and it's I don't know whether it's coming into the fourth game that a little bit out of energy, or they're just holding on to some for the second half. But Tennessee looks a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster at the moment, and they've got a 10-point advantage. So we're into game number 15, Jeff. Again, the a lot of tries being scored. This game, though, it may be an anomaly, and we've only had 2 scored so far. But as we talked about, Tennessee is really taking it to Alabama, who I think would have been favourites. I'm not sure where the books are, but Tennessee, Alabama or South Carolina, I think, came out of this morning's games as favourites.
Yeah, there may have been some residue from that hard-fought game between South Carolina and Alabama may be feeling it a little much now, but still a second half to go, and only 2 tries down. Definitely not out of it. I think if they can keep possession a little better and take the ball harder to the line, I think Alabama may be in for a show with this one.
We've got two balls on the field, so the referee's decided we're only going to play with one. We start the second half. Tennessee kicking off to Alabama. A well-contested ball, and it's kicked through by Tennessee, and they may be about to score their very third try and take a 15-0 lead over Alabama. Referee confirming with the touch judge that it's a try, and in fact has ruled a try to Tennessee.
That was a sudden strike from Tennessee. It was a ball fumbled by Alabama from the kickoff. As Ken had mentioned earlier, it's very important to secure possession from the kickoff. That wasn't done, and the ball was towed through by Tennessee, and the try was awarded as the ball went over the line, and Tennessee were able to dive on it. 15 Tennessee, 0 Alabama. Conversion missed by Tennessee, so they've got quite a game here in front of us. Alabama really have to put the foot down now to try and claw their way back into this game.
Now Tennessee about to kick off again, and they're going to make it another highly contested kickoff. Almost caught it on the full. The Alabama
kickoffs Ken, are really causing Alabama some concern. They're high and they're relatively deep, and Alabama's having a lot of trouble trying to secure the kickoffs.
In fact, giving away that line out, so Tennessee is attacking here inside the Alabama 22. I believe that breeze is just switching around. That there is no advantage to Alabama. But a poor throw from Tennessee goes straight to the Alabama player. They throw it to Depperschmidt, who's charging up the field, taking 2 tacklers with him. Quick ball out to Alabama. And a strong run from number 13, Ignacio Guisasola.
But see, there's more evidence of Tennessee playing harder in the rucks. Alabama picked the ball. Alabama picked the player. Well, player picked the ball up in an offside position.
And Tennessee reversing direction and tossing the ball around, but straight back to Alabama. Some good swarming defense by Tennessee. Their line is up quick, but if they're not careful here, Depperschmidt's through the gap looking for his port man. Tosses it up to him. Bobby Collins lets it go. The Tennessee players now kicking it through. They're allowed to play on. And the ball goes straight into the hands of
number 11 for Tennessee, who is Chris Leatherwood. We've seen him score a try previously. Just a lucky bounce, and that's what the rugby ball does. You never know which way it's going to bounce. And obviously it bounced favorably for Tennessee. And that moves the score on to Tennessee 20, Alabama 0 here in the semifinals of the SCRC Cup from Columbia, South Carolina.
And he's got 40 seconds to burn. He's got time to burn 40 seconds off the clock here before he takes that kick. So with almost 3 minutes left, I think that's going to be it for Tennessee. Over Alabama, they'll be they've got a 22-point advantage here. Chris Leatherwood scoring a lot of those 22 points for Tennessee. And I think we've got us another short kick, so it'll be a penalty to Alabama. They've got a big task ahead of them, 2.5 minutes to score 4 tries. A nice little backhand pass with Matt Schick taking the ball, charging down the field. Tennessee, though, not giving up in defense, but that's going to be an easy try to Alabama. The first one, too little too late, though, I'm afraid.
Yes, it was a try by Depperschmidt, who's probably been the best Alabama player during this game. But again, 22-5 and still a long way to go with not a lot of time. So
2 minutes
see
left.
what happens.
Alabama kicking it off, but it's well taken by Tennessee, and Alabama contesting possession and have stolen the ball. Matt Schick again having a great game, but it's got to have more support. Depperschmidt charging again. They're throwing it around, but they're very bunched up, Jeff. There's 2 guys out wide here, but Tennessee is now very bunched up. Their defense is all in the middle of the field. It's one good pass here, and he should be away. But I think he's going to get run down by the Tennessee player, but offload off the ground to number 8, Matt Schick again, and they go in for their second try, and that's with 1 minute to go. So Puente up quickly to take the kick. And he's successful with the conversion, so it's a 12. It's 22 points to 12, so 2 tries. They've got to get 2 scores, but there's only about 30 seconds left in the game, so it's going to be very, very difficult. And the mistake that they made is they've let it did bounce and go over the 10-meter lines, but Tennessee have the opportunity now to run out the clock if they can retain possession. So, and a good clean out there, but the referee is going to penalise Tennessee there. I'm not sure. It was a low, hard tackle, but Alabama charging up the field again. But they
knocked forward by
they incur the knock
Alabama.
on there and pass the ball. Tennessee, who kick it out, and I believe that's the time there. So Tennessee, with the 22 points, have run away from Alabama with 12 points in the championship, in the Cup semi-final here, and a surprise win for Tennessee, but a great win for Tennessee. Showed a lot of grit and did not give up anywhere through that game. We're just about to start. We have started the plate championship game. Alabama kicking off to Mississippi State. Some good hard running here by Speed. Mississippi State coming to the side. We've got an overlap. Charging the gap. But dropped the ball, I believe, caused a knock on there, and it'll go to Alabama's put in for a scrum. Referee has requested that we do it all over again. The ball coming straight out of the scrum. Alabama ball. They're set deep for attack. Mississippi State up in the flat line. And the ball is out for Alabama. Out wide. Alabama's charging the line, trying to set it up. Their number 4 runner, Dave Hockenberg. And Puente. Their number 11, Taylor Carpenter, taking it into the ruck. High tackle against Mississippi State gives them a quick opportunity for a quick tap. Puente offloads it to their number 23. Who we don't find on the list, but is going to score under the post to give Alabama.
Yeah, he just
2
saw
minutes.
the gap and clapped on the acceleration and threw, and despairing kind of clutch tackle from Mississippi State couldn't stop him, and ran it in from 35 yards.
A lot of tries being scored now, Jeff, where it's they're just aiming for the gap and taking the gap, and the defense is not committing to that tackle.
Well, that's why it's so important in 7's, Ken, to run the angle where there are gaps. Instead of running sideways, change the angle of your attack, and oftentimes you'll find a gap.
Great kick by Alabama, and they've been able to retrieve the ball. Mississippi State, I believe, are offside. Nope, the referee has penalised them for hands in the ruck. So Alabama set to go here. They reverse it. Nope, change their minds. Deberschmidt takes it, goes for the gap. Strong run, offloading. Little backhand pass to their number 13, who is through the gap, and Ignacio Guisasola has scored under the post for Alabama, and it should be an easy conversion.
And that was an excellent offload out of the back of the hand to the man running under the ball, and that was a great offload.
And Alabama going to the 4th minute, take a 14-0 lead over Mississippi State in the plate championship battle for 3rd place here. Ready to go again, a high, very contestable kick, but Mississippi State get it under control. It's out to Futch. I believe he was obstructed after he kicked the ball, so the penalty is going to be given to Mississippi State where he made that kick. We're going to move it on down to Robert here for a sideline interview with Georgia.
I'm here with Kyle from the University of Georgia after their big win and got some hardware for you now. So what was the message before you started the game, how to come out here and just attack Auburn?
We've been really focusing on maintaining possession. That was a very big issue with us. The first turn we had, we were a little bit too loose with our offloads, so we really focused on rucking when we needed to ruck, while recognizing that at times pop from around it could be very useful. So that was our sort of big going into the game.
Auburn made that big push at the very end, was able to tie it up. What was your mind going through when they said, "Oh, extra time, you got to play some more after this grueling day"?
To be honest, I'm not familiar with how these tiebreakers work. So usually you use 7 times. It's the whole game. So I was on the sidelines and my heart was beating quite big. So we had a considerable lead at first, but they kept pushing and just really pushing back excellently. But in the end, we had that grubber that scored us a game-winning try.
So what was, how did y'all motivate yourselves after? Obviously Auburn had all the momentum with that comeback and they were just ready to go. How did y'all just try to counteract that and eventually get the game-winning try?
We've been really focusing on staying optimistic. We have struggled in the past with getting a bad mentality after someone scores on us, and we have a particularly loose momentum that we had at the beginning of the game. And I think that this shows excellently how we actually bounce back and how, despite scoring consecutive tries against us to tie it up last minute, that we still managed to keep our heads up and come back for the win.
Maybe you go enjoy win with your team and enjoy the hardware.
Coming up to full time on the first half here with Alabama about to go on the attack again. A backhand pass by Depperschmidt, and he passes off to Puente, who's going to, I believe, win the sprint to the line and score Alabama's 3rd try. As we
James Puente for Alabama.
Yeah, James Puente has been a stalwart all day. But he's one of the organisers of this Alabama team, and he's scored the 3rd try there, which takes the score to 19-5 before the attempted conversion by 13 Ignacio Guisasola. The conversion is unsuccessful, so the score remains Alabama 19, Mississippi State 5 at halftime. Tough to see Mississippi State. Hard to see Mississippi State coming back in this one, Jeff. They've got a 14. They're down 14 points. 2 tries, obviously, in 7 minutes is not a problem at all here so far. We've had 4 tries in 7 minutes in the first half, so point scoring is not a problem. It's just a matter of who's going to do it.
Yeah, you can't really count anyone out as many tries as we've seen scored here today, and I think the offense has vastly been over the defense. There seems to be I believe not a lot of real strong tackling out there in most of these sides, and hence the gaps have been open, and a lot of clutch tackles, not trying to put your man to ground, and that's allowed the offenses to really sparkle here today. And we've seen the same here this afternoon in this game.
Yeah, and I think in the good Sevens team again, they don't pass it as much as the passing we're seeing. They'll contest the defense a lot more, and like I said, we mentioned before, the top team in the world, Fiji, score most of their points off contested defense and score within 45 seconds, and that's about their average. But they, it's getting to the breakdown and winning the possession. And Alabama at the moment, however, up 19-5 as we go into the second half here, and one half away from the championship game between South Carolina and Tennessee. And these two teams seem to be coming up against each other quite a bit in these finals. But
yes, in fact, Ken, they played in the finals in the 15s in the fall. I believe Tennessee, South Carolina by 1 point. A very, very late try. So they've got a long history of games that mean something between South Carolina and Tennessee.
Mississippi State, Alexander Schultz kicking off to Alabama. Little chip forward by Alabama. It looks like it's going to bounce favorably for Guisasola, but a quick 70 or 80 meters downfield. Throwing the ball out wide is Dave Hockenberg, but it's turned over to Georgia. Sorry, Mississippi State. Referee's going to bring it back for an advantage. He was playing advantage to Mississippi State, and they'll be scrumming it down about 8 meters outside their own try line, middle of the field. So I expect we're going to see a big push from Alabama here to try and disrupt this scrum. There's the push, there's the ball. Came on the weak side. The referee, though, I believe with touch judge input there, is ruling the ball came straight out of the scrum, so he's going to reorder a scrum. That's the danger here, Jeff. If they get a good push, there's nobody on this weak side for Mississippi State, but they win the ball. Attack the gap. Still going forward. Good support in the ruck. They win possession. And Daniels throws the ball. They lose possession as Daniels throws the ball back, and I believe they've now got a forward pass, which will give the scrum to Alabama.
And that was good pressure from the Alabama defense.
It was good pressure.
Mississippi State were out of position, and hence the forward pass there from the pressure Alabama put on them. Alabama in a great position here to score right 5 yards out from the Mississippi State line.
This is where you'll see the Alabama backs, powerful runners. Wide pass, a little bit loose. And if this lad, Dante Daniels gets loose, he is off to the races. Mississippi State throwing it around, and Speet, powerful, strong. Jordan Speets, another try.
Yeah, that
for
was
Mississippi
a very strong run
State.
from Speets, as the Alabama coaching staff tell us he's hands of a scrum half and the body of a front rower, and yet he motored towards the line there and ran away from the Tennessee defense to dot the ball down.
So with the missed conversion, the score remains Alabama 19, Mississippi State 10. Still a chance here with 2 tries, Jeff, but be tough duty. They need to be quick. Alexander Schultz about to kick off for Mississippi State. In the middle, they get a good bounce, but Alabama's ball. A little bit of ping pong handling here. The good strong run by their number 4, Dave Huckenberg. And Alabama's number 10, Pat Watson, has scored in the corner and I'd say put this game away.
And that was just great support play by Alabama. They had 4 or 5 people, players touching the ball, supporting each other, always a man in position to take the next pass. And it's what 7's is all about, and good try by Alabama in the corner.
Yeah, just the support there is hard to beat. It's they're running straighter lines and hard to commit the defense in so tightly to stop that sort of attack. So Alabama go to a 24-5 lead before the conversion attempt, which is wide. Kickoff by Alabama. It's taken by James Speets. Good push by Alabama, and they're contesting the possession with the number 3 for Mississippi State, Ashton Yates, but number 8, Mississippi State. Eric Mitchell gets him going out wide, but the tackle by the tackler Speeds, he loses it forward in the tackle and just knocked it on. So it'll be an Alabama ball from the scrum to restart play, almost on the halfway line. Substitutions coming in now for Alabama. Number 20, Andrew Callis, putting the ball in. The scrum turns and twists before he has an opportunity to put the ball in. Quick put in, they go the weak side. But Mississippi State up to it. And Speets runs down the pass but knocks it forward. That is full time in the plate championship. Alabama taking 3rd place with 24 points. And Mississippi State 10. So Alabama are the plate champions, beating Mississippi State 24 points to 10.